keeping safe and well protected. Welcome to the introduction video to English Core for Class 12 session 2021. Through this video, I'm going to introduce the two textbooks for Class 12 to my students and also guide them about the paper pattern along with certain tips that they may need to keep in mind to score good in their exams. The two books that Class 12 has are Flamingo and Vistas. Flamingo is a detailed study book and it has prose and poetry both, while Vistas has just prose and it is a supplementary book. Now, a glimpse of exam pattern. Since last session, that is session 2019-20, CBSE has introduced practical exam in English Core as well. Like all other subjects that had been regularly having their practical exams, be it physics, chemistry, or accountancy, or history, political science. But in English, this practical exam is known as ASL, that is Assessment of Speaking and Listening. Therefore, now the written paper is for 80 marks and ASL is for 20 marks. The question paper that is the written question paper is of 80 marks and it has three sections, namely reading, writing skills, and literature. Literature is textbooks, that is Flamingo and Vistas based. There is no grammar question in any of the section. So students have to keep in mind, unlike 11th class, there will be no grammar questions in class 12 question paper. Section A. Section A, that is reading section, it carries 20 marks. This very section has two major questions. First question is of 12 marks and is of reading comprehension. In this, either a prose or a poetry is given to comprehend. For the poetry comprehension or prose comprehension, the questions are given a variety. The questions open with multiple choice questions in which each question is given 4 choices, out of which only one is the correct answer. Students are supposed to pick out that very correct answer and write it down along with the option number. There are 5 multiple choice questions and each one carries 1 mark. This very subpart is followed by very short answer type questions that are 1 marker each. And comprehension ends on vocabulary question worth 2 marks, in which either the meaning is given and the student has to pick out the word from the passage or poem, or he has to write down the antonym or synonym. Second major question in reading section is of 8 marks. In this, a passage is given and the students are supposed to make notes on that passage. For that very thing, students must utilize their reading time well. This question is having 2 parts. Part A is notes making, in which student is going to write down the notes in proper indentation, and he is going to provide appropriate title along with the key to abbreviations for the abbreviations he has used in his notes. B part has summary, again of 4 marks. It is to be written in 1 or 2 paragraphs and should be complete in 80 words. One has to remember the word limit for summary writing is 80 words. Section B, that is the writing skills, it is having 30 marks. In this section, there are 4 questions. Beginning with the shortest question first, the section begins. So question number 3 is of short composition. Short composition means you will have either the notice or advertisement or poster, invitations, be it formal or informal, or the replies. Each question in this short composition has a word limit of 50 words only. Mind it, 50 words for short composition. Internal choices given in this question, and this question carries 4 marks. The next is 6 marker letter writing. Again, an internal choice is given in this. Two different types of letters are given, and a student has to write one letter of his choice. Letters are going to include letter to editor, placing order, inquiry, cancellation, complaint, or job application. They can be business or official letters, or maybe a reply to any one of these situations. The last two questions, that is question number 5 and 6 in writing section, are a long composition. By long composition, we mean that roughly 150 to 200 words are there to write down your answer. Again, in both the questions, internal choice is given, and the variety that is given in these two questions ranges from speech, debate to article writing or report writing. Student has to pick any two definitely, because each question is having internal choice. The last section of the question paper is section C, that is literature textbooks based, and it is of 30 marks again. This question has this section has four major questions. First question in this section is reference to context, that is the extract based. Since last year, CBSE has introduced that the extract-based question will not be just from the poems of Flamingo, but it will be from the prose portion of the textbook also. That's why in March 2020, for the first time, students appeared for the exam and faced this prose extract-based question also. Lines are given from the lesson, and four different questions are asked. No choices there, and you have to write down the answers for all four, and 1 mark for each. For this, I would ask my students to pay attention to the reading of the lessons very thoroughly, and make sure they have read the lesson at least 3 or 4 times before their final exams. Followed by poetry extract, in which few lines are given from the poem and you are supposed to write down the answers to them. Again, 4 questions are asked and each one carries 1 mark. After this extract based question, we have in this literature section short answer type question. In this short answer type question, there are 5 questions to be answered out of usually 7 questions. So you do get internal choice. And these 5 questions that you are going to answer, they must be answered within the word limit of 30 to 40 words. Remember, it seems that you may go beyond while writing an answer, but indirectly that reflects that somewhere your expression is weak and you do lose marks on that. So please ensure that you work on this during your preparation time from the beginning till the last, and bring your answers within the word limit. Last 2 questions, question number 9 and 10 of the question paper, they both are long answer type questions. By long answer type questions in literature, it means that the word limit is roughly around 150 words to write down your answer. As the range is 120 to 150, so make sure your answer is over by 150 words. And in these two questions, question number 9 is based on Flamingo text, and question number 10 is based on Vista's lessons. Both 9 and 10 have internal choice in them, and students, they are supposed to know the characters, the plot, theme of the lesson, and are able to take it little beyond the text also. So they must come up with their own ideas if the question is demanding it. But make sure whenever you are writing down an answer to this one, you are keeping your answer close to the lesson. So always lesson is going to be referred. Now all the three sections of the question papers are dealt with. I would just try to give certain tips to my students to make sure they attempt their paper in a well manner and score good marks. As you had been doing it for so long, so definitely out of habit, you will present it in the same manner. But in case you are able to change it for betterment, that will be really good for you. The very first thing that I would suggest is presentation. There are no extra marks for presentation or good handwriting. Remember this. But your overall presentation of your answers in answer sheet does leave some impression, because legible handwriting definitely makes it easier for examiner to read your answers. Less cutting, overwriting makes it smooth reading, so helps a lot. That's why make sure that you answer in clean, non-messy manner. Next, after writing down answer to any part of the question, make sure you leave one line. And after you have attempted the complete question, leave at least two lines. While doing this, ensure that notice writing you never begin from the end of the page, rather from the fresh page, so that the notice is completed in the same page rather on carried on to the next one. Third most important thing, do number your answers correctly as per the question paper and not as you attempt them. It really helps the evaluator, as well as the marks are put in the appropriate question. Another suggestion, it hardly matters which section you begin with. Depending on your confidence level, depending on your comfort zone, you may begin with literature or writing or reading. There is no hard and fast rule for this. But yes, try attempting all the answers to that very section first before moving on to the next section. That's why it is really suggestion that if you can write down your answers in proper order. Last but not the least, definitely, do follow the word limit as mentioned in your questions. That not only saves your time but helps you in improving your expression too and scoring better marks. With this, I will simply bring the end to the video. Happy learning, round the session, and wish you good luck.